Hey, welcome. Oh, look at that lighting. It's terrible. What do I need to do there? Oh, I'm not sure if it's coming through this window or that window. Looking like I'm blown out alien. Welcome, my friends. Here we are. It is, I can get the date off this computer. My computer's frozen. I'm running late just for a change. It's the 27th of April, 2022. Here we are. This is Chat with Matt. Half an hour to talk about whatever you might want to talk about. Even though my computer is frozen, I did look beforehand, and I know that, at least 10 minutes ago, no one had written in a question ahead of time. So I'm going to run with that idea. Hey, Sister Kelly. Kelly Jean. What do you want to talk about? What's going on out there? Holy goodness. The energy has been full on. I think that was Colleen as well. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening for you guys over there. A magical day. Yes, indeed. It's beautiful here. We've got a beautiful, clear autumn day dawning on us here in sunny New Zealand. Hey, Audra. Welcome. So, yeah, it's been full on, right? The energy of the last few days has been really, from my take on it, it's been really intense. Hey, Sister Jill. Been really intense and quite uncomfortable, but nevertheless, choosing to believe that that's all good. Things are working out, things are unraveling, things are definitely shifting out there, both for me internally and externally. Had rather interesting experiences of our Anzac Day here. We had a long weekend. Monday was a public holiday for Anzac Day, which is our Veterans Day here in New Zealand. I've been working all month of April with this topic of more empowered peace, and it really sort of just fit together just exactly what a massive, that's the word we're trying to pull out, what a massive impact war has had on us all throughout the successive generations, and not just on us personally, but us societal wide. Our society has been so entrenched around war mentality for so long that it's ingrained. And even though it hasn't been for me, like living in Australia and New Zealand, like there hasn't been war around, not externally in my face for my whole life, right, 50 odd years, and yet it's still there subversively. My computer's finally decided to get its stuff together. So yeah, doing some clearing on that. If you didn't pick up, I did put out sorry, I'm just trying to get my computer up onto this page so I can make sure. Susie wrote, "Hi Matt, yes, quite intense time just driving home in Auckland traffic, so I have to listen." Yeah, Auckland traffic, well done. Yeah, what am I saying? There's a free 30-minute light language meditation call that I did to our group, to my Mantara Transformation Empowerment Support Community. I record those or do those live every Tuesday morning, my Tuesday morning. And so I posted that out on my email list, and I put it in this group there for anyone who would like to take a listen, because I felt that it was very applicable and very beneficial, not just for those who are experiencing Anzac Day over here, but for anyone in any part of the world. And you have all had, war influence your heritage, your lineage, your upstream, and potentially flowing into your downstream as well. So that's been kind of bubbling around in my world. We've got coming up, full moon. No, Matthew, new moon. It's new moon on Sunday with a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse. God, I'm getting everything backwards. Solar eclipse happening Sunday morning, our time, which will be Saturday evening in the Americas, Europe. So that's big. A powerful time of new beginnings coming up this weekend. So I've been thinking a little bit about that and tuning in and looking at a bit of the astrology, etc., etc. I can't remember what I was reading now. It's all sort of common in one ear and out the other. I bookmarked a few of the tabs of what I read that was interesting. But basically, it's same. I think that's right. One of the big themes coming up, because it's happening in Taurus, is around security, external security, and our desire for external security, and the fact that we don't have as much external security as we thought we had, right? I think it's becoming obvious to most of us that the external structures that we've used to give us a sense of security are falling apart. And that can leave us feeling a little bit scared, fearful, lost, unsupported. But it really is our liberation from needing and relying on this external form of support to kind of prop us up for not feeling internally secure, safe and secure in ourselves. So the opportunity that's arising for this new moon solar eclipse is to really dig deeper into finding a level of security in your own heart, and to dissociate somewhat, to find neutrality around the external sources of security that we've clung to for so long, at least, a couple of generations at least here on the planet, in the form that they've been of accumulating money, paying off your house, etc., the ways that we have done this financial security being our security. I think another big theme that we're going to talk about this weekend on that light language call, which I will be doing for the new moon solar eclipse, will be this idea of finding your self-worth, and helping you sort of expand out of your self-worth being tied to your net financial worth or your financial net worth. That has to stop, right? That has to come to an end. It's very, very insidious part of our society and how we've been educated, but it's really not sustainable moving forward, and it kind of it instigates and maintains sort of a lack/greed mentality that keeps us wanting more and more money and to quote unquote get ahead, because we think that that's going to provide us a level of security which will then help us relax, which will then allow us to be happy. And it's just not the case. That's a dysfunctional mentality that's not serving us, and we need to truly choose to relax and be happy and find security within ourselves, and then money will come and go as it's required, right? But the point is, we've been clinging and chasing, most of us, most of society's been sort of inducted into this way of thinking that this chasing the money thing is what we need to do in order to secure our, not just our survival, but our happiness moving into the future. And we're getting an opportunity to disentangle that. Sister Jill wrote, "You may not have experienced traditional war, but we've got wars on everything from drugs to knives to sugar, tobacco, etc. It's a useful control tool, I feel." Yeah, and they certainly use, it's true, Jill, they use war languaging around a lot of things to keep us in that stressed state, the war on this and the war on that. And, it's been, we could call it a conspiracy theory, but in my opinion, it's been a deliberate use of languaging, using war languaging, military languaging around lots of things in our society to heighten this level of stress and danger in these situations. That a lot of these things that we've quote unquote gone to war with as a society are not necessarily nearly as dangerous as they have been escalated to in the, through the education/advertising, which puts you into stress, right? It puts people into stress when they think there's dangers around and things need to be defeated in order for us to maintain our freedom, and our health and our opportunities. Stressed people are easy to control. There's no doubt about it. Stressed people are disempowered. Stressed people keep their head down and mind their P's and Q's. Confident people speak from their heart and demand, a life that is fair and equitable and in alignment with what their where their values are at, their true energetic values, not the sort of the educated, moralistic, virtuistic indoctrination that many people have inherited through their education and religious education and schooling, etc., etc. What else, friends? What would you guys like to talk about? If you leave me go, I'll just go. But I am very happy to make this more interactive. Jill wrote, for 6 months I've been trying to stay safe by selling my home and immediately buying a new one in Cornwall. It's just not happening, with the craziest events worthy of a soap opera script scuppering all my best laid plans. Now I'm considering selling up, putting my quote-unquote wealth into gold bullion and living in a caravan in a friend's garden. It's not my first choice, but it may become only choice. Well, Jill, really, only choice. Oh my God, happy Wednesday, Deb, love. Yeah, no, it's not your only choice. You're a magnificent being of divine proportion. You have an infinite number of choices. What's your best choice? What's your most expansive, loving, exciting choice? You might be serious, but it's delusional, right? It's delusional to think that that's your only choice, to live in a caravan and to put your money in gold bullion. You can do so many things and still survive, and not only survive, but thrive on this planet. You have so many options, so many options. So free yourself from the idea that you must own a house. Free yourself from the idea that this is life and death and you're trying to stay safe here. Because as long as you're trying to stay safe by quote unquote doing the right thing, the sensible thing with your net worth, you're going to keep devoiding yourself, cutting yourself off from your true self-worth. So hi, Brother Lewis. Yeah, so you have to stop thinking. This is the thing, Jill wrote, my head is spinning trying to think of them. Let go of thinking. None of us can think very clearly at the moment. We're moving through the biggest phase shift in eons from the head into the heart. So we have to stop thinking and start feeling our way through the world. And the only way we can do that is to relax out of the fear that we're going to get it wrong, to relax out of the fear that we're being bombarded with mentally. The way to defeat the mental programming is to get out of the head. It's not to argue your way out of all of the information that's being presented to you. There's so much information, so much of it is contradictory, most of it is fear-based, being presented through various sources, both mainstream and alternate media, to keep you in a state of confusion. The only way forward is to stop trying to understand it all, to stop trying to get it right, to stop trying to think your way through these situations, and to relax and trust that your heart will lead you one step at a time. So we can just get a new passport, right? Yeah, you're not going traveling in the next, it takes about a week to fast forward a passport, but you know, it's not that big a deal to get a new passport. You know, we've all done it. It's not, yeah. Standard time is probably 6 weeks, but you can always fast forward them if you're prepared to pay if you need to travel. So I wouldn't stress out about that, right? Again, it's not a reason for diminishing your happiness. This is the point. So relax and trust everything is working for your highest and best good, including all of the intensifications. The state that you're in is actually beneficial. You're actually going through a massive purification. All of this discordance that you're feeling is not you failing, right? It's you getting an opportunity to see just how much crap you're carrying from various sources and to make a big, fat, conscious choice to let it go. To let it go, to relax out of all of this stress that you're winding yourself into, all of this goings on of trying to get your house sold and buying the other house, etc. And if it's not meant to be in either direction, just relax and trust that what is meant to be will happen. Well, you can talk about the universe giving you a hint, but really, you know, it's only your subconscious working through. So we are the universe. But yeah, you could talk about that. You could talk about the symbology of losing your passport, etc. The point is you need to dissociate succeeding with the external desires to achieve the outcome you've set yourself, right, to move house to Cornwall, as being your road to happiness, and choose to be happy right now. Because the moment you start choosing to be happy in the moment and really relax into you're happy no matter what happens, things will shift in ways to deliver you to outcomes that mirror your happiness back to you, right? You don't need to figure out how to become happy. You choose to become happy, and then the figuring out happens as a byproduct, right? It flows through. It is presented to you as a reflection of what you have energetically chosen to align with. So this is the point. We have been trained and indoctrinated to try and do the world in this idea that we need to control things to achieve the situation that is going to deliver us our happiness, and it's just not the case. We choose happiness. Situations come and go. The more that we stay faithful, trusting in the happiness that we've chosen for ourselves, despite whatever's going on outside of ourselves, ironically, the more good things tend to arrive in our external world, right? Because the vibration that we're being attracts that stuff. Also, though, the vibration that we be is also driving a process of purification. So anything left in our field that is antagonistic to being happy, right, belief systems and all of the rest of it that we've been indoctrinated, pains and traumas from other lifetimes or childhood, etc., are also brought to the surface. So it can be a mixed bag. But the point is, the more that you relax into trusting whatever's happening is happening for your benefit, whether it's stuff coming up from within you to be purified and released, or whether it's stuff being attracted to you from the outside as a result of the vibration that you're being, as long as you're in allowance of that process, you're going to move through it without creating a great deal of suffering. And that's what's important, right? That we can progress being purposeful in ourselves and allowing ourselves to express ourselves expansively as the being that we're here to be. Jill wrote, thanks for reminding me. I do know this, but I seem to have spent 60 years fighting being happy, my own little war. Yeah, because most of us have been programmed either in this lifetime or before that being happy is dangerous, that we shouldn't be happy, that being happy we let our guard down and bad things can happen to us. Being happy is not serious. We should be serious in our quest to get the religion right so that we can go to heaven, or get the world right so that we can leave something for our children. Whatever it might be, we've been trained out of allowing ourselves to relax into happiness, and we've been indoctrinated with the belief that we should be serious and contracted, stressed. People, honor stress like some freaking badge of badge of honor, that they're doing the world right, that they're being so sensible and so dedicated and so responsible. They're carrying all of these burdens and trying so hard to fix all of these things that they think they should, based on a program that they've inherited or been indoctrinated with, and most of it is just, unfortunately, very delusional. We're not here to get all of this shit right. We're here to experience ourselves as creative beings, having an expansive experience as a being of light through a body on a planet, in relationship to a whole heap of others doing the same. This is the opportunity here, and the more that we can get out of the seriousness of that, the more that we can actually benefit from it. We can actually achieve what we came here to do if we stop being so serious trying to get things right. Because this right thing is just based on mental programs. What we think is right. None of us know what we're supposed to be doing, because it happens in a moment. It just arrives and it leaves. This opportunities, right, to express ourselves, and they can be in the most simple things. These experiences that are really dear, very beneficial or desirable to our soul, to our higher self, right? They happen in moments where you could not predict. They just arrive. Could be out in nature, could be interacting with someone, could be while you're meditating, could be while you're sleeping. Yeah. Sleep is not a waste of time. We're actually, in a body having experiences in sleep state that we can't actually have in spirit as well. It's all part of it. This is the point. You don't know what your purpose is. You don't know what the list of things are that your soul wants to or desires to experience. So stop trying to control things and let it happen. That's it. The more that you can relax into the experience, the better off you're going to be. It's not easy though. It's certainly not easy. I know I've been struggling with it. So much emotion has been arising after the last few days, few weeks, few years, few decades. So much emotion has been arising. So much deep purification has been occurring. It's very hard to maintain that more expansive outlook of it. It's very easy to get caught up in the narrative, in the story, in the fight. Very easy to get caught up in the fight against what we are not enjoying. But unfortunately, what we resist persists, what we fight against we feed, and what we feed will grow stronger. I'll read it down here, Jill. Last weekend, I shared the location of a beautiful freshwater spring locally with 2 friends. It was so simple, but I was so happy. But I was happy all day. Yeah. This, happiness is in the simple things. Happiness is a choice that we make. And when we feel that we're being beneficial, then we enjoy that. We feel satisfied with that. Yeah, Lou, it's been full on, right? Lewis wrote in and said, yesterday's human resonance was 17. We've been experiencing so much energetic influence lately. It's very, very easy to feel that you are failing. It's very easy to feel that you're losing your mind. It's very easy to feel that you are emotionally unstable. We are all emotionally unstable at the moment. That is a part of the opportunities that are available right now. This emotional instability is an opportunity for us to experience emotions that we've kept locked away and hidden from ourselves because we've been scared of them. We can't keep them locked away. They're not able to stay in our field as we keep ascending, as we keep raising our vibration. So this emotional instability that many of us are feeling and many of us are scared of, and many of us want to create narratives around that we shouldn't be like this. We should be more able to maintain our neutrality like a Zen monk sitting in a friggin' sand garden. No, we can't. No, we can't. We're experiencing what we're releasing right now, and we're experiencing our process of purification, and it's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. But the point is, we're not failing for going through this discomfort. And the more that you can remember that you're not failing in your emotional or your mental discordance right now, and your inability to function the way that you think that you should be able to function, and you aren't over the things that you thought you were over. I should be over this. I've done all of this work. I've paid for all of this therapy. I've done these past life regressions or whatever, right? I've listened to all of Matt's light language MP3s. I should be over this. Don't shoot on yourself, right? Just don't shoot on yourself. Lewis wrote, wife triggered me in a way I could easily have run for the hills. I know. It's insane how fragile we all are. How fragile we all are at the moment, and our triggers just seem so deep. The wounds seem so painful at the moment, and we don't think that we can cope. It's very common to hear others saying, or even ourselves internally saying, or even saying out loud for ourselves, I can't fucking cope with this. This is too much. But it's not, right? Because we have a higher self, and they are managing this process. So while your egoic self might think that it's too much and that you can't cope, I can assure you that you can cope and it's not too much. And to let go of that belief that it's too much and you can't cope, and allow yourself to trust that you're doing great, and that no matter how uncomfortable it is, you will move through it. Oh, Susie, yeah, that cough's been a bugger, eh? I've been lucky. I haven't really been coughing at night. But yeah, we're shifting a lot of stuff, a lot of grief, needs to be shifted off the chest, and coughing is a great way of doing that. As I spoke of in the call I did the other day, well, it's just yesterday, I think. Yeah, and the post I put on about Anzac Day and the like, and the experience of war. Many of us are carrying very, very deep grief around just how shitty this world has been for the last several thousand years, and we have to release it, right? They're like big fat sandbags holding the balloon down. We want to fly it. We want to soar. We want to ascend and float on the currents of divine wind. And we have to get rid of these sandbags. And a lot of us are coughing them out right now. This grief that we've held in our lungs for so long. A lot of us are having a lot of digestive issues right now as we really work through a lot of deeper self-worth issues and disempowering beliefs that we're carrying in our gut, and a lot of us are having a lot of heartache as well, as we're really opening up. Jill said, the energy has got my teeth on edge, literally, and mercury fillings are releasing spontaneously, probably another cause of feeling crazy. Yeah, our body's not particularly apt at the moment for hanging on to density like mercury. So a lot of us are if you're carrying mercury in your mouth, you might want to go to a dentist who's prepared to get it out. I'm not saying that that's a big fat should, but I think a lot of us with carrying that sort of toxicity physically are going to experience the release of it. So one way or another, we're getting rid of the toxins physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. Toxins have to come out because our vibration is raising to a point where we can no longer maintain toxicity in our field. It just can't stay there. It's become so disharmonious, so discordant with who we're becoming, that it just, energy mechanics just doesn't allow it to stay in the field because it just gets vibrated out. So we have to let it come up to come out, and it's not a pleasant process, right? Sister Sarah, I'm having a hard time staying non-reactive at work. I feel very irritated by some of my colleagues that I feel are taking a lot of space, and it makes me feel less than. I know I have this inner critic and I can't seem to take any criticism from anyone. We're rehearsing music performance, so I need to sing harmonies and it's not my strength, but the other ones are so darn good. It makes me feel even less knowing anything, although I do know my music. Yeah. So understand that the experience makes me angry that I'm so sensitive. Yeah. Oh, sister. Your sensitivity is your true strength. Your sensitivity is what allows you. My phone last night. No, it's okay. Your English is fine because we're connecting on a energetic level anyway, Sarah. You're doing great. This is the point. The criticism that you're experiencing is your own inner criticism that's arising to release. So remember that all of the criticism that's coming up is coming up to come out. Choose not to be frustrated at yourself for being innerly critical, and laugh more often when you feel yourself wanting to criticize yourself or spontaneously criticizing yourself, right? And choose to understand that your self-judgment on that you're not as good at harmonizing with the others, etc., is your own take and not necessarily theirs. Understand that you're perceiving the disharmony between you and your colleagues through your own perception and not necessarily through theirs. Allow yourself to loosen up on the whole experience and trust that you're doing great. Even though it's uncomfortable, choose not to, it's okay that you feel angry, right? But choose not to associate that anger with your own sensitivity. choose to trust that you're feeling angry because your needs have not been met by this society. Your sensitivity is not a wrongness. Society's non-sensitivity is what is in the process of changing, and it's something that you've had to cope with for so long, right? That as sensitive beings on this planet, our needs have not been met for millennia, thousands of years. So of course we're angry about that, right? Because when our needs aren't being met, anger is a natural response. So it's okay to be angry. The point is not to turn the anger against yourself. The point is not to make the anger wrong, but to rather trust that the anger is arising as part of what you have suppressed, right? You've been suppressing this anger because anger has been made wrong. This is what's, led us to double down on our own self-judgment, is that, we're judgmental on ourselves that we're sensitive, and then we're judgmental on ourselves that we get angry that no one respects our sensitivity, and then we get angry on ourselves that we're angry, right? So it's not very helpful. And so the point is to trust that it's all in the process of unfolding. Sarah said, yes, I get along with everyone outside the rehearsal. Thank you, Matt. Sweet to hear this. Yep. So trust that, you're not failing. Trust that the relationships aren't breaking down. Trust that you are going through a process of your own inner relationship having a breakdown so that you can rebuild in a new state of self-worth, right? And that your security is not in the approval of other people. Not that they're disapproving of you. It's only your own mentality that thinks that perhaps they won't approve of you and that you need to try harder to be better so that they will approve of you, right? So at this time, coming into this new moon eclipse, that desire to find a level of security in the external approval of others is going to be well tested. And your opportunity to relax out of needing their approval so that naturally you'll get it. As you approve of yourself and stop worrying about whether others are approving of you, then you will find that your relationship with them will get even stronger. Yeah, low self-esteem issues from long ago. Yeah, lifetimes and lifetimes ago, right? Because as a quote-unquote witch on this planet, as someone who's connected with spirit and knows how to, get good outcomes, despite the darkness all around us, we've been persecuted for a long time. So that's diminished our self-worth, all of this constant persecution for being the being that we be, aligned with the light. Anyway, friends, awesome. Thank you very much, Sarah, for bringing that up, and Jill and whoever else has added to this conversation. Awesome. Chat with Matt complete for another week. So yes, I will be putting up an invitation to our call, which will be Sunday morning here in New Zealand, Saturday afternoon, evening in other parts of the world. Pretty much it'll be, I'll tell you what time it's going to be. It's going to be 8 a.m. my time here in New Zealand, 6 a.m. Eastern Seaboard of Australia, 3 p.m. Central Time, so that's 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and 8 a.m. so 9 p.m. in the UK and 10 p.m. in Europe. Oh, I'm just like the fucking talking clock. I probably got something wrong. Never mind. Much love. Glad you're home, Susie. Relax and enjoy. Go well, friends. Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate. Be accepting that it's difficult right now on the planet and difficult in our own bodies and our own psyches and our own experience. It's difficult right now. So be compassionate, be accepting, stay in allowance, and do your self-care, right? Look after yourself. Meditate, eat good food, drink good water, choose good company, get out in nature, get your hands in the earth, walk barefoot, do whatever is required. Go for a freaking swim if you've got that opportunity. Do what's required to help you really flush away a lot of this energy that's shifting through, right? Breathe deep. Go and sing somewhere. Go run up a hill and sing or scream from the top. You are loved. Remember that many beings of light and love around you, including your own higher self and spirit team and angels and your ancestry. Lean into that support, right? Trust that the earth has got your back and is under your feet. Feel supported inherently. It's all here for us. I know we just isolate ourselves in our own mentality and then think that we're failing and think that we're unsupported and think that we can't cope, but it's delusional. And that's okay. It's okay to be deluded. It's a pretty much an illusionary experience here in a body on a planet anyway. But, you know, let the illusion work for you rather than against you. I think that's the trick to enjoying this sojourn here on this planet. Let the illusion work for you rather than against you. So yeah, I'll post the invitation up in the next day or two for our weekend light language call for the eclipse. Much love. Namaste, friends. I greet the divine being in you all. Bye for now. Bye-bye.